Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how you can make a low poly tree set like this one with a very few easy steps. So let's go and jump into the tutorial. Alright, so first of all, let's go add a mesh. So Shift A, we're going to add a default cube and go to the front view, press 1 on the numpads, and let's go to the edit mode. With all the vertices selected, we're going to grab all of them and just drag them up to make sure the center of origin is at the bottom part of the cube. Now with the X-ray mode on, we're going to select only the top vertices and scale them down like this. And now we're going to select bottom vertices and scale them up just like this. Yeah, this will do. And right now we're going to add a loop cut just about here. Drag it down here, and now we're going to exit out from the edit mode to the object mode and go to the solid view, and let's go add a subdivision surface modifier. Increase the viewport level and make sure you turn this on, so when we go to the edit mode again, it doesn't go back to doesn't go back like this. So this way it is going to be easy for us to modify this. All right, so let's go and add few more loop cuts into this mesh from this side and this side like this. Okay, now what we're going to do, you know what, I should have deleted this face. So yeah, let's go back a few steps and select the face mode, delete this face like this, and now we're going to loop cuts like this. Yeah, so now we're going to select these loop cuts and Shift Alt these two loop cuts and right click, go to the loop tools, add a circle. Now in case you don't have these loop tools here, what you can do is go to edit, preference, and in the add-ons section you can just type in the loop tools and add the add-ons from here. So after that, we're going to select all the edges like this. Make sure you press down the shift button to select multiple edges, and then press V on your keyboard to make some cuts along these selected edges. Now we're going to exit the edit mode and we're going to add a solidify modifier. So we're going to drag the modifier onto the top of subdivision surface, and let's go add some thickness.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
So I'm thinking for this we're going to add maybe 4 or 4.5. Yeah, this will do. And let's go ahead add shade auto smooth. Before proceeding any further, I would like to increase my viewport from the subdivision surface to add a little bit, add more smoothness into this mesh. Okay, so we are almost done, but before that, let's go back and into the edit mode again, go to the face selection, and we're going to select all the 4 faces on top of the mesh. Go to the front view and scale them down like this to make a sharper edge like this. Yeah, this will do. And let's go ahead and exit from the edit mode, and for good measure we're going to apply the scale, Ctrl A, and then just hit the scale. And now we're going to add an array modifier. So instead of just duplicating the meshes on like this, we're going to add use the array modifier to duplicate the mesh. So right now this is duplicating along the x-axis, so we're going to reduce it to 0 and then z to 1 like this. Let's reduce the number to 0.5 or maybe 4.5. Okay, this should work. And go ahead, increase the count. 1 2 3 4 5 should do for now. All right, so right now we're going to add an empty to control the pine tree. So for that, Shift A, add mesh and go to the empty. We're going to use the plane, any empty will do. And now let's go back to the modifier tab, select this modifier tab and object offset. Let's turn this on and select the empty like this. So if we select the empty and then now scale it down like this, you can see we can sort of get it to look like a pine tree. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, now we can rotate this along the z-axis, make it a few imperfection. We can also rotate this like this, make few variation. So we are almost done with the pine tree, but before that I want to add a few touches. Like we're going to add these edges like this, and then maybe increase the size. Okay, so now that we are done with the pine tree, let's go add a trunk, and this is going to be a very simple trunk. So we're going to add another mesh, Shift A, and then add a cylinder. Let's go turn the vertices down to, I guess, 8. Yeah, add 8 vertices, and then add a subdivision surface modifier. Let's hide the cube for now to make sure you guys can see this properly, and then add a loop cut here, add a loop cut here, and then select 8 to select everything. We're going to the top view and just shrink it down like this. Go to the front face and drag it all the way here. Exit the edit mode, shade, auto smooth. Now let's bring back our pine tree, and we're going to okay, no, I was supposed to select both of this, both cube and the cylinder. Okay, to make sure I can move the pine tree freely, we are going to parent these two objects. So select the cube and then select the empty. Control P, set parent to object. Now we can move this easily like this. Yeah, we are going to have to turn this, shrink it down a bit more. So let's go to the item and change the dimension. Let's scale it down. Let's go 0.5. 0.5. Yeah, now that looks more like a tree trunk. Let's select the empty and drag it all the way down. Okay, so now we are done with our pine tree finally. So let's go add some material into the tree. So before that, make sure we're into the cycle engine. I'm going to use cycle and GPU compute. If you have GPU, you can. If you don't have a GPU, this will work fine on CPU because it really doesn't have any meshes. It's a very low poly. So we're going to add a plane in the background like this. And let's add a camera. Let's split our screen like this so we can control the camera view more easily. Make sure we can see our trunk and adjust the rotation. Okay, this looks good. We're going to scale up all the way to fill the background in our camera view like this. And then let's just extrude the background to cover everything in the back, and then add some bevels to make it seem seamless. This will do. So let's go to the viewport, and right now we don't have any lights, so let's go add a light, maybe an area light. Everything works better in area light. Scale it up and turn up the watt. Let's go 300 watt for now. You know what, let's go 600. Double it. Yeah, this will do. And we're just going to duplicate this, add a few in the background like that, and then point it towards our tree like this. Yeah, this will do. Now that we had added everything, let's go to the shader editor and let's turn down the viewport samples to 32. We don't need that much, and render to 64, although it doesn't matter. And we're just going to hit this render region. We don't want unnecessary GPU uses. Okay, so let's select the mesh. You know what, let's rename all the meshes. Go to empty, pine tree, and select the cylinder, name it trunk, select the plane and name it background. Alright, so I'm gonna add a plain solid color onto the background, nothing too heavy, maybe a brown color, a light brown. I don't like the shadow, so what I'm gonna do is rotate like this. You know what, let's change our pivot point to 3D cursor, then rotate this like this. To make sure the background isn't dark, we're going to increase our watt to 1000 or maybe 10,000. Yeah, that's more like it. So let's go select our pine tree and start add the material. So let's rename the material. And for the pine tree, obviously it's going to be green shaded or green gradient. So for that, let's choose a dark green like this. And then we're going to add a diffuse BSDF and mix shader to mix both the DFs, BSDF like this. Add this here, and to control the gradient, we're going to need a color ramp. The color will go to the factor and let's add the gradient texture to the color ramp, back to factor, and then let's go ahead and with the gradient texture selected, you can just press Ctrl T to add these two nodes. Okay, so as you can see, we can see the gradient shade, but this is onto the z-axis. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate along the y-axis in 90 degree. Now that the gradient is at the bottom, we can control the color from here. See? So let's go and add another green, shade of green over here. This will be a bit lighter, and this line from linear. All right, this doesn't look too bad. And for the trunk, we're just going to copy the pine tree material and then press on the 2 to copy this and rename this to trunk. And all we have to do is change the shade like this. So we're going to add a dark brown around this portion, and it really doesn't matter what we add here because we won't be able to see this. You know what? I think we need more lights. So what we're going to do is duplicate this again. Now it looks like pine tree. Okay, so now that we are done with the shading and lighting, we're going to duplicate the tree and make a collection of pine trees. So let's select from this side view, and you have to make sure select all three parts: the empty, the pine tree, and the trunk. And then from now, just Shift T, not Control, and move along any axis you want. Shift T again, go Y. Yeah, this tree will do. Let's select this tree, go to the modifier, empty one, G R X, rotate this like this. You can also scale it up, and then let's select the second empty, rotate like this, or you can scale it down like this. And there you have it, a cute low poly pine tree. If you like this video or if you like this tutorial, you can let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching.